Once a cheater, always a cheater. To some, that's just a catchy phrase, a sentiment passed around without much thought. But to me, it became the bitter reality I was forced to face. When I met Mila, my life seemed perfect. I had a stable job, a house I was proud of, and even a car. Everything seemed to be falling into place. And Mila, smart, ambitious, and undeniably beautiful, wasn't about to let such a catch slip through her fingers. After just 6 months, she made sure we were heading straight toward the altar. Honestly, I didn't need much convincing. I was head over heels in love. Mila wasn't just a stunning woman. She was also incredibly organized and made our home feel like a haven. 2 months into our marriage, she moved in with me, and everything about the house seemed to come alive. She hung elegant curtains, picked out chic new dishes, and even transformed the front porch with vibrant flowers. Slowly but surely, we were building a life together, a picture-perfect one at that. So much so that I even switched jobs to have more time for her. The new job came with a company car, so my own vehicle spent most of its time collecting dust in the garage. Mila would occasionally take it for a spin, usually to meet friends at a cafe or hit the mall for a little retail therapy. In my eyes, I had hit the jackpot. Mila wasn't a big spender. Our shopping trips were modest, just a pair of sunglasses, a purse, or a scarf here and there. I should have been suspicious, but I was blinded by love and failed to see the red flags waving in front of me. Then one day, my world came crashing down. It was my day off, and Mila was out. I figured I'd take a quick look at the car's oil, something I hadn't done in ages, given how little the car was used. I stood by the hood with a napkin in hand, ready to pop it open, but then something caught my eye. The dust on the hood wasn't untouched. It had been wiped away in a pattern that immediately raised alarm bells. I couldn't deny what I was seeing. Familiar outlines of a body pressed against the car, handprints near the windshield, and a few more near the headlights. The evidence was clear as day. Someone had been in my car, and they had been very comfortable. In that moment, everything fell into place. My wife, the woman I had trusted with my heart, had been cheating on me. The rage that flooded through me in that instant was indescribable. For several minutes, I was consumed by a kind of fury that made me see nothing but red. I wanted to destroy everything. And I did. I stomped all over the flowers she had so carefully planted, tore down the elegant curtains she had picked out, and turned the house into a chaotic disaster zone. Once the storm of anger subsided, I grabbed a couple of suitcases from the pantry and packed her things. It wasn't even a question. She was leaving. Mila arrived about an hour later, her face full of confusion. The moment she saw her flowers ripped from the ground, her eyes widened, and she stormed inside, shouting, "Have you lost your mind? Are you drunk? What the hell is going on here?" Her gaze landed on the suitcases sitting in the middle of the room, and her tone shifted instantly. "Darling, what's going on?" she asked, her voice trembling. I looked at her calmly, my words as cold as ice. "What's going on? You turned out to be nothing but trash. And now you're leaving. Go wherever you like, but you're not staying here." Her face twisted in disbelief. "Are you serious right now? Stop talking nonsense. Did someone tell you some ridiculous story about me?" I couldn't help but chuckle bitterly. No one had to tell me anything. Next time you decide to get cozy on my car, maybe wipe the evidence off the hood. Her entire demeanor crumbled in an instant. She began sputtering out excuses, her voice cracking. But I was done. She collapsed onto the sofa, sobbing, but I wasn't going to be moved. I was done with the lies, done with the betrayal. "Get out," I said coldly, standing over her. "Unless you want me to drag you out by your hair. Do you really want that kind of humiliation?" Mila shook her head meekly, and with a look of utter defeat, she stood up. Slowly, she began to gather her things, her sobs echoing in the silent house. The perfect life I thought I had was nothing but a fragile illusion, shattered in a single moment of clarity. It was truly pitiful to watch. Mila dragged her suitcases out, her face twisted in a mixture of frustration and defeat. I could see her fidgeting with her phone, calling someone, probably the man she had so easily replaced me with. Through the window, I watched as a car pulled up and out stepped a young, smug guy, eager to help her load her bags into the trunk. Then, to twist the knife even further, he wrapped his arms around her and kissed her, right there in front of my house. Up until that moment, a small part of me had clung to the hope that maybe this whole infidelity thing had been a mistake, a one-time lapse in judgment. But that kiss shattered any lingering doubt. I realized then that this wasn't just a fling. It was a full-blown relationship, something deeper than I had ever known. Fury overtook me. I picked up the phone and dialed her father, not caring about the fallout anymore. I laid everything out, the affair, the humiliation, the betrayal. I told him I was filing for divorce. Since the house, the car, and everything else were mine before we ever married, there was little to contest. Our split was clean, like two ships sailing in different directions, never to meet again. But the nights, they were the worst. The silence of an empty house weighed on me. My friends did their best to keep me sane, stopping by in the evenings to keep me company, to talk about anything but Mila. Without them, I don't know how I would have made it through. Then one day, I was scrolling through social media and stumbled upon a post that knocked the wind out of me. Mila had remarried. It hadn't even been 2 months since the divorce papers were signed. I couldn't help but wonder, with a sick feeling in my stomach, if she was already pregnant. Part of me wanted revenge, not just on her for breaking my heart, but on him for sleeping with a married woman. But in the end, I knew that some battles weren't worth fighting. What was the point? They had moved on, and I had to do the same. Still, the bitterness gnawed at me, knowing that despite everything she had done, they were out there living their perfect life. Mila had everything, a new home, a new husband, and even a job at a high-end beauty salon. Funny thing was, her new husband was the one who got her that job. It wasn't as perfect as it seemed, though, because the universe always has a way of balancing things out. 6 months after they married, my friend ran into Mila at a nightclub. Imagine his surprise when he saw her kissing another man, someone completely different from her husband. We had spent enough time going through photos on social media that Yura recognized her immediately. This wasn't her husband. It was someone new. He filmed the whole thing and sent it to me with a simple message. Do whatever you want with this. At first, I wasn't sure what to do with the footage. Sure, the guy who had stolen Mila from me was a piece of work, but I didn't want to fall into the same cycle of betrayal and revenge. Still, I couldn't resist. I tracked the man down on social media and messaged him, telling him I had some information about Mila. His response? Pure arrogance. He told me to mind my own business, to stay out of their lives. Fine, I thought. If that's how he wanted to play it, then I'd play my hand. Without hesitation, I posted the video of Mila and her mystery man on his profile. Less than an hour later, he deleted it, but the damage was done. The video had already spread like wildfire. Our town was small, and in a place where everyone knew everyone's business. Word spread fast. Within a week, I heard that their happy marriage had fallen apart. The guy had even gotten Mila fired from her job at the beauty salon. They kicked her out at his request. As if that wasn't enough, rumors started circulating that Mila's parents had cut ties with her, unable to stomach the disgrace she had brought upon them. Mila reached out to me once, wanting to meet. But after everything that had happened, I just laughed. There was no chance in hell I'd give her the time of day. She had made her choices, and now she had to live with the consequences.